Hello and welcome. We're going into another video. In today's video, we'll talk about the top teams in the Open Ultra League. New season started and new ranking on PvP, and new Pokemons have risen to become meta. So in today's video, we'll explain everything about the new Ultra League meta. So as you guys all know, Ultra League is 2500 CP limited, and you can use legendaries and XL Pokemon. Probably if you see, it's known for these 5 Pokemons right now. Alligator. I think we should add Tentacruel, right? Because Tenta is also a big Pokemon right now. So Cresselia, Zygarde, Giratina, Registeel, and Feraligatr. Those are like one of the most common 5 among all the MMR brackets. And if we take a look at the PvP ranking, we would look like, okay, Shadow Feraligatr is the best Pokemon, followed by Gastrodon. Gastro wasn't, I think, top 2 last season, but this season it has rised a bit, and we will talk about why. Clefable, extremely decent, and Primeape dodged the Rage Fist nerf, so it's top 4, and spoilers alert, it's decent. It's incredibly decent. Zygarde is probably the biggest, the bulkiest, the strongest Pokemon among all these. Like other stuff, they just do well against everything. Zygarde is the Pokemon that if you don't have a hard counter for, you're not gonna have a good time. Like you could play a team that is technically soft into Feraligatr, and you could still win by outplaying your opponent. With Zygarde, it's just extremely tough, especially after they changed Bulldoze now. Giratina, I don't think Giratina is good now because people use Giratina for the Shadow Claw damage, and now Feraligatr does that much better. We have Feraligatr, Non-Shadow, Registeel, Cobalion. I think Cobalion is the most underrated Pokemon. It's top 7, top 9 on PvP, but people just don't use it. And it's actually, like, it's a great. But something to mention here is that there is Primeape, and probably Primeape is just straight better. Galarian Weezing is the best core breaker in the Ultra League, and people just don't respect it. Drapion is just the best safe swap. If you don't know what to do, swap Drapion just to spam Crunch or Aqua Tail. Steelix, I think Steelix now get a buff with the buff to Thunder Fang. The thing is, Thunder Electric is not the best source of damage in the Ultra League. We have Regirock and whatever. So I divide them as always: good leads, good safe swaps, and generals, which are good everywhere. So the best leads currently are Malamar, Primeape. What is Primeape? I think I have Primeape in the next slide. Alolan Sandslash get a buff this season. Ice Punch is buffed. You no longer need to use the Shadow one. You can use the non-Shadow if you have one. Machamp is decent. Ampharos is not as good because, to be honest, Electric again is not the most ideal typing, because against Feraligatr, can you believe that Ampharos, which is supposed to be a hard counter, lose to Feraligatr? Because Feraligatr, once you land the Hydro, you can shield and farm all the way down. Weezing is the most annoying Pokemon. It's a great lead, because if Weezing gets a good lead, you're just gonna snowball the entire game. If you get a bad lead, you can still punch through it with Brutal Swing, because even against Tenta, you should still get to 3 Brutal Swings, or 4 if you decide to shield the Scald. So that's how good this thing is. You do need a Shadow, by the way. If you don't have a Shadow, that's fine, but the Shadow is just a straight upgrade. The safe swaps. The best safe swap is, the best lead is Feraligatr. The best safe swap is a Drapion. And usually, lots of people have a strategy which is hard counter the Drapion safe swap with a Mud Slapper. And like Homeslice Henry last season, I think he hit number 7 on leaderboard by using Golurk, Shadow Golurk, to hard counter the safe swaps of Drapions. Because, to be honest, it was just everyone safe swapping Drapion or Tentacruel, and whenever they do that, you just go to Golurk and just Mud Slap them all the way down. You shield, and you get the shields back after you take care of their swap. Licky is incredibly decent. The problem with Licky is that you always need the move that you don't have. But I've seen someone running Hyper Beam, but to be honest, you kind of need EQ for the poisons. So it's like that situation where like you're stuck versus like you always need the third move. So this is the annoying thing about Licky. Otherwise, it's just incredibly strong. Now Mandibuzz, people use it as like they are just sick of Feraligatr and they want to use an actual dark Pokemon to beat that. And it's actually not that good into Feraligatr if they have Ice Beam, and once they land the Ice Beam, they can just go straight Hydro. Now for the generalists, I think like these 4 Pokemons, like 6 Pokemons, they are just good against everything. But I think we can actually have Feraligatr here. instead, because Feraligatr is just good elite, good safe swap, good in the back. Other Pokemons that do deserve some respect: Steelix with the buff to Thunderfang now, and Dusknir with the Snapshot filter. It has good play, but the problem with it is that it only has ghost damage. So if you need non-ghost damage, you have to run a purified one, which is non-ideal, to be honest. And for Virizion is known for like being the biggest nightmare to stuff like this, so like Licky and Feraligatr. But again, Feraligatr can just Ice Beam it at one point, so you have to be fast on the switch. Now, these are the top Pokemons, but what are the top performers? Top performers is known for like the best Pokemons at the condensed meta. These Pokemons do incredibly well into the Pokemons that people use the most. And the main thing, the strongest Pokemon I would say here in the condensed meta is Drifloon. If you have Shadow Drifloon, you would know how strong this Pokemon is. Even if you don't have a Shadow, a non-Shadow would still be as decent. Primeape is incredibly decent. Feraligatr is probably the best Pokemon. Sandslash, just avoid the Feraligatr and you should be in a good situation. That's all you need to do. Just don't be against Feraligatr. Now, Drapion, known for the best safe swap, still the best safe swap as well. Weezing, I think we just talked about it. So these are the top performing Pokemon. Now, usually we talk about top performing Pokemons, then we talk about the top performing teams. So these teams are technically built around the top performing Pokemons, and we'll give you an idea. And anything here you don't have and you want to invest is actually worth investing, as long as you figure out what you want to run. And the best team I do think in the condensed meta, you might need to change the Weezing here. It's like Feraligatr, because Feraligatr is the best Pokemon. Gastrodon is the best thing that covers Feraligatr. And you need a poison, otherwise if you get a Virizion, you're just gonna lose. So you have to run a poison Pokemon. So you could run Tenta, Drapion, you could even run Talonflame, to be honest. So anything that beats the grass. I have Weezing here because this team is just incredibly fast and hits hard. Another solid team, it's like you can actually do Gastrodon with Drapion, because here we gave Weezing a team, so we have to give Drapion another team. And Clefable, don't sleep on this Pokemon. It's incredibly good. It's so freaking good in the neutral matchups. And if you are a Zygarde fan, you could just run Zygarde, Malamar, and Feraligatr. So the thing about this team is that you have two hard counters to Tenta in the back, and you have two counters to the Drifblim. And Drapion is a bit tough for this team, but to be honest, it's manageable because the Psywave, just the Psywave damage will put them in Hydro Cannon range. So all you need to do is just, tag team it. And also, you have a hard counter here. And remember, now we have Bulldoze on Zygarde, so you don't have to bait Crunch. You can just go straight Bulldoze, and the Bulldoze damage will just put them in Dragon Tail. And if you get a Bulldoze debuff, that's even better. But what team will you be running as? The team that I am actually thinking of trying is Alolan Sandslash with Gastrodon and Malamar. So Sandslash is weak to Gator and Talonflame. So those two stuff technically are Talonflame answers for me. Those two stuff are answers for the Feraligatr as well. So this is a buffed Pokemon. This is an incredibly good Pokemon. And Malamar, you guys know how much I love Malamar. I think Malamar is probably one of the best neutral Pokemons in the game right now. It does have good, incredible fast move pressure, oppressive fast move pressure. And the charge move might not be the best, but it should do the work. Another solid team, but actually bulkier. So you can run Malamar with Feraligatr and Licky. Licky is actually one of the best counters to Feraligatr, because you just wall them from the fast move. And they need 3 Hydro Cannons. By the time they have 3 Hydro Cannons, you can land your Shadow Ball, your EQ, whatever, and then farm all the way down. I am sure that you actually live 3 Hydro Cannons if you have a good IV. So they need 4, which means there is no way they can win any similar shield scenario. So it's like if you play the one, Licky can take care of that. But if they decide to double shield, just don't worry about it. Leave your shields for your hard hitting Pokemon, and you will be able to punch through their Feraligatr team easily. Now moving into the Ape, the Prime Ape, the good Ape, the better Ape. So Annihilape is stronger, Annihilape is bulkier, Annihilape has more resistances, but Prime Ape is how to describe it? Well, the thing about Prime Ape is that it's a spammier, and it's just better in neutral matchups. But the thing about just because it has Karate Chop, and Annihilate does not have Karate Chop right now. Maybe they give it in the future. I don't know if it learns it as well. And if you give a Prime Ape 3 Karate Chops, it can beat something like Clefable. Can you imagine that? Even by shielding baits. If you give it like, I think 2, you can flip the Tentacruel because it's a guaranteed boost that does damage. So by spamming Rage Fist, you can punch through stuff that you will never imagine that you will be able to beat. And you destroy Feraligatr. After a bunch of Karate Chops, Close Combat will be able to one-shot if they are non-Shadow. So if they are a Shadow, Close Combat does like 70-80%. I think a team that used to be popular, which is the Zygarde with Feraligatr and Tentacruel. This used to be the main team, and the main problem with this team was Sandslash in the lead. If they have Sandslash in the lead, you're just pretty much screwed. Also, Poliwrath used to be tough for this team, but Poliwrath technically does not exist. But now, I'm interested to see how Zygarde will perform with Bulldoze. Another solid team that is actually worth mentioning. I think Homeslice Henry used it to climb to number 7 or number 5 in the leaderboard, which was basically Golurk, Drapion, and a normal type in the back. Could be the Cow or the Licky Licky. So what's the difference between the Cow and Licky Licky? The Cow has Thunderbolt for the Feraligatr. You could also say the Cow has Ice Beam for the Zygarde. Licky Licky, though, doesn't have that, but it can punch through it with like a neutral play. I think the main thing is like, if people are using Feraligatr, you kind of prefer to run the Cow because of the Thunderbolt, because like Licky Licky does not have good charge moves. It's just, they are also around the same bulk, except that Body Slam is Legacy here, Body Slam is not Legacy here. So, we talked about some top performing team. Now let's move into top teams from top players, like crazy good players like Wholesome underscore, known like a leaderboarder, Pokemon Go player, Pokemon Go streamer, Pokemon Go caster, like everything you wish to be as a Pokemon Go player, he has done. Yeah. So, Wholesome is known for running Machamp, Snorlax, and Amok. Okay, that's his team in Season 1. So, after the power creep of Drapion has been replaced with Amok. Amok has been replaced with Shadow Drapion because it's just much better. Snorlax got power crept by the Cow or the Licky, whichever you have. Machamp has been power crept by Virizion, and then he used to run Virizion, and now Virizion is power crept by Primeape, so Primeape is the main Pokemon. Another team was by Pokemango, one of the best players in the world by hands down. Like he hit number 1 last season, and he's the streamer with the highest elo. That's what we call him. So he used to run Zygarde with what's this dude? I forget what's the name of this Pokemon. Malamar and Clefable. So the team is kind of soft to Feraligatr, and I think that was the main reason why he switched it a bit, because he was annoyed by Ice Beam Feraligatr. You could say that, I mean, Clefable is fine into it. It's just that if they shield the Moonblast, they just make it very awkward, to be honest. That boy Jay was running Virizion with Feraligatr and the Drapion, and this season, I think you can just replace the Virizion with the Primeape, and you should be fine. You can also keep the Virizion, to be honest, because the Virizion has one job, which is destroying A-Slash and Feraligatr. And it's not bad into Drapion. Like, you beat the Drapion if they don't get a Crunch debuff. You actually not bad into Tentacruel, because Tenta doesn't run a sludge, poison move. They just spam Scald, right? Signal gave me this team from last season, and he was saying that Pangoro is good with Drifblim and Tenta. Now all you need to do is just put Primeape over the Panda, and you should be fine. Pokegains, he gave me this team, but he actually never tried it. Like, he never ran it. He's like, yeah, sure, I think this team is good, but he actually never used it. Maybe he's just trying to have a team, but he want to use another team, you know? He's trying to hard counter his teams. Basically, he said Tenta with Greninja and Panda, the Pangoro. Now you can just replace the Panda actually with Primeape, and you technically should have a better Pokemon. And Nices, our friend, he's been running this team since season 2, I think, ever since we got Registeel in Season 2. It's always a Dragonite, Registeel, and the third is, like, depending on the meta. So, like, 5 seasons ago, he used to have a Skunk because Skunk was good. Now he just runs Feraligatr because Feraligatr is just too good. I was trying to build a team around the Steelix and Electivire, and honestly, I just didn't want to. Because I don't want people to run those 2 Pokemons, because I want to be the first one to run them. So pretty much that's all the good teams that I could think of, and the Ultra League, and like they could ask or like people submit. So yeah, thanks so much everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. If you are watching till the end, don't forget to like the video if you like the content, and subscribe to the stream if you have, the channel if you haven't. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.